Grounded in sinfully sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, Avantpop Bookstore presents Joining us on this episode of Avantpop Bookstore Presents is Wayne Comunale. John Wayne lives in the neon-drenched city of Sin, Las Vegas to prepare himself for the heat and hell. He is the author of Death Packs and the Left-Handed Paths, Scummer, As Seen on TV, Sinkhole, The Cycle, Deadline, Electric City's Neon Infection, The Curses Collection, All of Your Dreams Will Come True When You're Dead, Gas Money Magazine, and his latest, Toured to Death. John Wayne also has a podcast, John Wayne Lied to You, and he is the lead singer and guitarist for his band, John Wayne is Dead. Joining us now, John Wayne Comunale. Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
We're in. We're live.
It's too evil.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're already on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay,
we start
cool.
recording
Welcome.
Immediately. John Wayne Comunale.
Comunale.
Dude, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Dude, all the pleasure is all on this side of the booth.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'll tell you why, because
Let's hear it.
this has been a long time coming. I've been very excited about this. I'm stoked to, you guys do so much cool shit, especially in in the literary community and everything here in fabulous downtown Las Vegas. And to be a part of it is very special to me. So I appreciate you having me on the podcast.
Well,
I've been looking forward to it for a while.
Well, it's I'm glad you said that because the feeling is totally mutual because having you on here makes us feel almost legit.
Oh, come on.
Dude,
What
you're
the
a badass. You're look, you're a writer, you're an artist, you're a punk rocker, you got your band, you produce, you're doing so much shit yourself. It's pretty impressive.
It's just three things.
And you tour shit? I mean,
yeah.
dude, come on. That's pretty awesome.
It's tough.
You have
ask.
a relationship, which is always the hardest with all of
dude,
it.
okay.
Writing and music. Like two of the hardest things to keep a relationship going is being a writer and a musician.
I've been divorced twice.
Okay, well then.
I've been on the John Wayne fuck tour for a while before I met Scarlett. So, dude, I've been there with all of that. I've blown my life up several times to keep this
magic
artistic if you want to say like on the tracks. And that it's not, it doesn't compute for a lot of people, but fuck it, like I don't give a fuck. But let me ask you this, because I also do some podcasts. I'm not gonna plug those, but
plug it.
I do a weekly one, John Wayne Lied to You, which is free out there for everything. But I do a Patreon on my Patreon podcast. It's called the Awesome Dude for Life podcast, and I talk to artists that I meet all over the country that are from all around the world, like of different disciplines, not just writing. It's like music, actors, like whatever. I talk to so many people. But one of the things I like to ask at the beginning is like, I like to not ask, but I like to talk about like, hey, this is so-and-so, and this is how I met them. And it's like this thing about like, hey, we were at the bar afterwards, or you were at my table next to me, whatever, it's something like that. So I'm curious. So I came over to the shop. Like, let me set the scene.
Please, because I fucking forget.
Because it's because the lovely Scarlett, my girlfriend, was like, because we know Norm.
Yes, a poet.
Poet, awesome, excellent talent. And she was like, go over to Avantpop and take some books and see like what the deal is. Because I'm traveling all the time and I was home that week. And I was like, oh, absolutely. So I went over one day. And you guys were closed, and I went to the horror store next door, and they were very cool. Talked to them for a little bit. They actually put up some posters because my band had a gig.
Nice.
Came back like maybe the next day or whatever. Like you guys, when you were open.
Yeah.
I walked in and you were here, and I'm like, hey, I have some books for, and I'm like, and I was wondering, like, is this guy like, fuck this fucking guy walking? Like, tell me about your books. Oh yeah, cool, very cool, man.
Is that what I said? Tell me about your books.
No. You didn't say that. No, you were very cool. I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. You had a punk rock T-shirt on. I forget what band it was, but. Something that we connect
family
and I was like, oh, this guy's cool, but I was like, you were like, yeah, come back and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But that's how I met you, and I thought you were cool as shit from the get. I was like, this guy's cool. We can chill. We can do it. So.
Well, good. Thanks for the memory.
I just took
memory
this.
lane.
I just took this.
It was great. I fucking forget. We've been hanging out now for a bit. You've done our Doomed Poetry event, and we've been crossing paths.
Yeah.
And I get a little starstruck with people who are not only writing, doing their own art, but also doing music too. And that to me, and all the shit you do is like solid. There's none of it that has like a gap or of like, well, he could hire somebody else to do that. And it's impressive. It's super impressive. I love your music, what you've been doing. And to be honest, I haven't read all your books, but I've loved what I've read. And
cool,
your art's, I mean, like all of it's impressive. And so I was just stoked. That we crossed paths and became friends because we have a lot in similarity.
I agree, and like I said, what you guys do and what the shop does and represents is pretty fucking badass.
Well, thanks.
So I'm very happy to be a part of it and to put it out there.
You're
and
friends with James Norman and a bunch of the most badass poets in Las Vegas. I mean, some of the most talented people. And so, and they're talking about you and you're talking about them, that's always a good sign that if you've got some of the best artists telling me that I should follow them, then that's a good sign. And James Norman loves you. Norm is,
he's the best.
He's a big fan.
He told me I fuck.
Yeah.
At Doomed Poetry. He was like, hey man, you fuck.
Nice.
And then he disappeared like Batman.
Yeah. Well,
as soon as the last word was spoken, Norm was gone. There was just a Norm-shaped cloud.
If we can take a moment to talk about James Norman, I mean,
please
talk about Norm makes me nervous sometimes. He's got this look of intensity and desperation and fear and then excitement. Like I don't know if we're gonna fuck, fight, or flee. Like he's got this look on his face where he's just like always.
Dude, Norm's like,
he writes like a god. I mean, jeez,
he's the real fucking deal, dude.
Yeah.
He fucking some people joke about living in a van down by the river. Norm lives in a fucking van down by the river. He got lead poisoning. His teeth are fucking falling out. But he puts this like amazing
he's the new Americana
out there. Like we were talking at one point and he was like, yeah, some of these people like talk hard, but I live in a van. Like, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. You fucking do this shit. He's like, I do it. And like,
in fact,
not that you have to live in a van down by the river or lose your fucking teeth to lead poisoning or whatever the fuck. Right. You don't have to do those things.
You just have to write good about life.
But like Norm does. Yeah. And he rules. So
in fact, there's another local writer, April Ursula Fox, who was so inspired by Norm. She saw him at the Intimate Evening of Poetry that we host. And she writes fantasy. She's amazing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about April.
Cool.
But she just submitted a poetry manuscript for us to look at and see if we want to publish. And she's like, I did this because I was so inspired by Norm. and she read his books. And I said, well, did I give you my books? And she's like, well, yeah. Which I was like, damn it, I wish you would have said no. But it was just, I thought it was hilarious because I thought it was impressive. Norm he puts a fire into everybody. His poetry is amazing, and we stop talking about him because he's not on the podcast. But
he's not on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Tune in for the Norm podcast.
We'll get him on here soon when he's not when we can find him.
No, it's going to be the side podcast that you and I start. It's just like we just talk about Norm.
That could work. Actually.
Episode 2.
That could work. It's like having Bukowski on your. You just want to praise him. Dude, where'd you grow up? Where'd you grow up, John?
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. No shit.
I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but as such a small child, I moved to Houston when I was so young.
Okay.
But that's where I.
What'd your parents do? Or parent? Which one?
My parents. My mom was a teacher, and then she became a counselor for school, elementary schools after that. And my father was a traveling salesman for right here in River City. He was selling instruments to students who, no, he was, he worked for different companies that sold like industrial supplies or floor coatings or these fucking roof shits or whatever.
Salesman.
So he was on the
Hustler.
road constantly doing that.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get your hustling and your education from, I guess. Then.
I guess.
Yeah. Did your mom have you reading a lot when you were a kid?
My mom did, actually. I have to credit her that. She read to me constantly, like all the time, and always promoted reading. And when I would start writing stupid little stories, she would encourage that kind of stuff. Like even so, like in elementary school, when we started reading, I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade, we're reading like Ramona Quimby and Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing, Super Fudge, like these books. And the teacher is like, all right, everyone, go home tonight, read chapter 1, and then we'll fucking talk about it tomorrow. And I was going home that night and reading the entire book.
Damn.
And then I would come back and be like, yeah, I'm done. And I would tell the kids like, oh, yeah, man, Super Fudge totally dies at the end, whatever. I'm telling them like the fucking book. So this teacher called my mom and told her, hey, you need to tell John Wayne to stop reading ahead because he's ruining it for everybody, and he needs to stay on task with that, like whatever. But and so my mom told me that. She's like, look, read ahead, do all the thing, just shut the fuck up. Yeah. Just don't say anything. My mom didn't say shut the fuck up. She's a nice whatever church lady, but she was like, don't tell anybody. Just keep reading. You can read the whole book, but just pretend that you're just reading chapter by chapter. So, so she did very much encourage reading and read to me every single night.
No, that's good, mom. That's a good mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same with my daughter. I read her every night, encouraged writing and reading and all that good stuff. Now, when did you start writing stories? How you were young? Fucking around, but you were putting stuff together?
Always, like... those were my favorite classes, like English language arts. Like I would always just write stupid little stories, and I was always just into that.
Did you do poetry or when?
I did. I mean, come on. I'm an emo. Look at me. I have eyeliner on right now in front of you.
You just have dead eyes according to the camera.
Yeah. So like, Of course, I wrote so and as a musician, because I have a band. Like all of my songs are so complicated. But no, of course I have composition books full of my emo poetry.
Yes.
And I think I don't think I can tell you like this. One of my creative writing classes in college. For my your final, you had to like put together like like a collection of your work, however, and I put together a collection of poetry, of my emo poetry, and so I did write that for a while, but I prose and storytelling is more my thing, but like the poetry stuff comes definitely with the more on the songwriting side.
Now, when you're writing songs, do you ever pull any of that old school stuff? Any like a line or a verse or a thought you had from any of that stuff when you were a kid?
Dude, I'm sad enough right now. I don't need to go back in time and be sadder. Like it's just like, no, I can, those let's let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah. I have all new things to be sad about. So, I do keep all those things. I have all of those notebooks, but I don't ever crack them open and be like, well, let me.
You leave that for your grandkids.
Yeah. or put it in a time capsule, or let the aliens come see how sad I was. I don't know.
So, When you're writing stories, is there any when you started writing stories, was there any time you wrote something and you like sent it off to a contest, or you like did you ever try to get like I need to be acknowledged as a young writer and like try and send stuff in and win anything or get any vibe from anybody?
So I didn't. I was writing a bunch of stories and things and novelettes and novellas and had no idea, just in a sense of like almost compulsive, like an obsession. Yeah, I had to do it. Right?
I get that. Yeah.
But I had no idea where any of this would go. How do I do this? When I was in, I went to college at Sam Houston State University in Huntsville, Texas, where they put people to death in the electric chair and like whatever, like
Fun.
Eat 'em up, cats, meow. So Huntsville's grown; it's so big and crazy now. But back when I went, it was so fucking small. But I got a degree in English and creative writing, and the creative writing side of it was, we had a publishing house on campus called the Texas Review Press that just mainly put out just like Texas-based like poetry or prose or a lot of nonfiction stuff,
anthologies and shit.
But a lot of anthologies. But the main professor that ran that, his name was Paul Ruffin, Dr. Ruffin. He's dead now, rest in power. But he'd come into like my English class and like basically like, hi, I'm here to tell you about fucking the creative writing thing. So I immediately just got up and walked out and changed my major, and like, because I was directionless in college. I was like, what the fuck am I even here for? But I was like, I know I can write and I like to read, so let me just try this. So I got a lot. I mean, I'm like given a lot of
Keep going. I love this.
But
yeah, I love this shit.
I got
That's what I'm
to
into.
work at a small press, basically.
Right.
Like you had to intern
Yeah.
at it for your degree.
Cool.
So I did it for a semester, and then I was like, I had a free thing for the next semester. I was like, can I just do it again? They're like, yes, please. So I did it again, and then I graduated from college, and they hired me back to work at the press for like 3 months. They contracted me for 3 months. They didn't have a lot of money, but I got to see how these things work, like the inner workings of a small press. I mean, this like the Texas Review Press was very niche, of course, but you know, I got to know how this is a slush pile. I got to do blue line. I got to do layout. I got to do table of contents stuff.
Yeah.
And
important stuff for writers. I mean,
all that kind of and it was extremely beneficial. And I don't even remember what the question you asked me was that led us to this. But
I like where it's going.
But that was I think we were talking about always writing or whatever. But like that. I was always writing stories, and like, you know, and that helped me get a little bit of direction on what to do with them. Contests. That's where this was.
Yes.
So, you know, I was always writing, but in Houston, there was this contest, maybe like, man, I don't even know, like early 2000s.
Okay.
And it was, what was it? Like something, they were like, something crazy that happened or whatever.
Some theme that
I sent it in, and I just made up this story about this guy getting locked in the bathroom at a gas station, and this crazy shit that's happening outside, and they're trying to, whatever.
Nice.
And so I sent it in, and they're like, yeah, we accept, you know, you're going to be like, come to the bar and perform it or whatever. And I did, and there's like 5 other people, and I won, and it was like $100 and something in like whatever paper, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about that, give me that fucking money, you know what I mean? Like, I already drank this $100 away tonight. Fucking, you know. But that was very cool. But after that, I mean, I didn't know where things went. I didn't know how to submit to places. until I went to BizarroCon in Portland, and this was like in 2012, I believe. And that convention is just it's like a industry thing. Yeah. So it's not, you're not selling shit. You're just there like, but once I went and kind of got to see behind the curtain and learn more and more and more, and I was like, okay, now I know where this goes, and now I know how to build from there. Yeah,
that's key. That's key. Yeah, it's I always tell people it's not about finding the publisher; it's finding out how the publisher works.
Exactly. You can't just absolutely. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, so you're doing writing. When did the music fall in? Like, when did you start John Wayne's Dead? And why? What was the progression?
Oh, okay. So in 1985, I saw a movie called Back to the Future, and
1985. How old are you?
I'm 45 years old.
Okay, that makes sense then.
But I'm a vampire. I am vampire, so I look like this. But when I saw Marty McFly playing Johnny B. Good on stage in that movie, I was like, I want to play guitar really bad. But because, like, again, I bring up my mom. My mom is my biggest fucking fan right now.
Shout out to moms.
She's the best.
Shout out to moms.
However, back in the day, very protective.
Of course.
She didn't realize her religion was getting in the way of things. Now she knows.
That happens.
Now she knows. She's like, whatever back then.
We all get smarter.
And dude, and I don't like fault. I'm not like shake my fist. She was doing the best.
Of course, of course.
But so I didn't get to listen to a lot of music or whatever unless I was like sneaking it, which is probably the best way to do it anyway. Totally. But man, I saw that movie and I was like, fuck. Not only am I now obsessed with time travel, I'm obsessed with playing the guitar. But I didn't get to play guitar until I was 16, because my mom was like, we couldn't afford it. I can't like fucking whatever. Yeah, so I get finally to do it, and that I now at my age do a lot of drugs, have done a lot of drugs, but playing music on stage was like the first thing that I was like, this is a drug. Like that thing, I was like, fuck, you don't need anything.
That was the
else.
first dragon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Chasing the dragon. So, and I love live music. I love music. I love all kinds of music. I know I look like a maniac and I play in a punk rock band, but dude, I just love music.
Well, the fact that Johnny B. Good was the first one that made you want to fucking get a guitar from Back to the Future. I mean, that's down home music right there.
And then I also wanted to put like some cameras in some toilets, but I don't. And then I figured out later why that was.
We'll probably not get to that next later. But anyways. I can tell you a funny story later as we close this about stuff like that. Yes, go ahead.
No, because what's his name? The Johnny B. Good guy. He got fucking arrested for having cameras in toilets.
Who was that?
Everyone's yelling at their podcast machine right now.
Yeah,
Johnny B. Good. What's his name? Barry Manilow.
No.
Johnny B.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, Marvin. Marvin Berry.
My
Chuck
wife's out there.
Berry. Yeah, you got in trouble for having like cameras in toilets. Like
I didn't.
You didn't know that?
If I did, I'd probably wiped it from my memory.
Separate the art from the artist. That's what I say.
That's a hard part. Well. Yeah. So you wanted cameras in your bathrooms. Wait, where were we going with this?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. What it matters is like getting on stage and playing music was one of the things, like a great drug. And I already was I did theater in middle school, high school, and college.
So you wanted to be on stage.
So I always.
So you were a theater kid.
I was a theater brat.
Yeah. Yeah.
They say.
Probably got called gay a lot when you were young.
Always.
Oh, you're in Texas, for God's sakes, and you were in theater? My
Yeah.
God, did you ever get beat up?
I didn't get beat up, but I'll tell you this. I was like my sophomore year in high school, I got voted onto the homecoming court. And I was like, what? They announced like, John Wayne coming on. And I was like, what the fuck? Me? Why the fuck am I being like even suggested for the homecoming court? So I thought it was like, is this like a joke or something? It wasn't like a joke. It was like fine. But I was walking out on the field with my mom, like because you have your mom, your parent takes you out during the homecoming game, and I'm walking out there in my suit with my mom. And they're like, oh, sophomore, Duke, John Wayne Comunale, and like right before like the pause before people start to clap, somebody yells, "Shag!" My mom was like, "What?" And I was like, "Just keep walking, Mom. Keep walking. Keep walking." So that sucked. But
well, I mean, yeah, Texas theater kids, I can imagine.
But I loved theater. I loved doing plays, and that really helped me a lot. Doing plays and
on stage and all.
The speech tournaments and,
and
all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I did debate, and I love debate. I never did. I never went out of town to do it because I couldn't afford it. But I love just crushing people in class and debate. And in fact, it became such a passion throughout the early '90s for me that I had to like pull back. It was my drug. I'd take acid and go to frat parties after I dropped out of college, and I would
just debate people, just Lincoln Douglas them to fucking death, dude.
Oh my goodness, and I'd make people cry. If there was a long time where
I love it.
I don't do that anymore. I really stopped it, but I just loved like making sure people knew they were wrong and then telling them how wrong they fucking were until they were just beat to the ground and just I didn't change anything because after that they'd walk away and hate me and every ideal I ever had. But man, I got off on it for a long time.
Well, especially when someone's just ready to pounce that, like, if you're wrong about anything, they're like, I don't think so, and then you take them to the mat. You cannot show mercy.
And I'm a justice person. Whenever somebody starts like saying they think they have the answer, and it happens to be very conservative or just racist or whatever, when anything that makes it so other people are, if they're hunting the underdog, I am the underdog's god, and I come out for them, and I just
UDG, dude,
fight
underdog
and hunt,
god,
and then I crush their whole team. Like I
love it. We're on the same, All right.
Yeah. How long have you been drawing? Doing art. How long have you been drawing and doing art? Like, it's your stuff.
So I've been like doing, I guess graphic art, visual art. That was another thing that I started in elementary school and in middle school. I got into. Okay, so at my middle school, when I was in 6th grade, I don't know what this is now, but there was 3 electives you could choose from. If you weren't in sports, right? Yeah. So there was band, choir, and something called FAPA, which FAPA stood for Fine Arts Practical Arts. So every 6 weeks, you would get rotated to a different thing. So you would be in choir for 6 weeks. You would be in theater for 6 weeks. You would be in oral interpretation for 6 weeks. You would be in shop for 6 weeks. You would be in home ec for 6 weeks. And so I did that.
Yeah.
Right? Only because I was like, I don't know, there's other things. And I wanted to be, I originally was like, into drawing. I wanted to be in advanced art, the advanced art class. So like I did all that, and I did get into advanced art. But I also then, they were like, hey, why don't you also come do theater? So like everything started to get massaged in my schedule where I could do like these visual art classes as well as the acting and theater side of things. And that's just, that's how I started getting that was where I was just at the bar. I was just at Berlin. Shouts out Berlin.
Yeah,
and
Las Vegas.
My buddy Roy and I were talking about art. He's also an artist. We were talking about repeatograph, like pen and like ink and just ink and paper fucking art. And that's where pointillism comes from. Like a lot of pointillism is done with that. And I learned all of that shit through these like stupid art classes when I was in middle. They weren't stupid. I was in middle school when I learned all this stuff. And I took art classes in high school, but it was mostly just like they try to teach you like, anyway, so the French Revolution, here's Impressionism, and I'm like, that's great, but there was not a lot of like actually creating anything.
I almost didn't graduate high school because the one class that I ditched the most and was just so bored with was art. So my mom told me, like, we just got a call from the high school and you might not graduate because of art. And my mom sent me to art classes growing up. Like, that's how she is, a single mom. Like, put me into stuff that would keep me out of trouble. So she was so like, what the fuck are you doing right now that you're gonna not graduate high school because of art class? But, you know, I got bored too.
Dude, Texas school is fucked. All right, let's go down this let's go down this rabbit hole. And I've talked about these things on my podcast, John Wayne Lied to You. So I'm an open book. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But being in like the theater stuff in high school, like UIL it's competitive theater, where it's the one act play and stuff. Have you heard it like that? And you go to the speech tournaments. Like,
I was in theater too. Yeah.
Exactly. So so everybody just so you know, like this, like it's a competitive thing. Like it's like really like it can get pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
Especially in Texas, where like we've all seen like Friday Night Lights and shit. We know how like athletes in Texas are. So I was a senior. When I got to be a senior, I was like, really didn't give a I was like, I don't give a fuck about anything, man. I mean, like, I'm trying to figure my shit out. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck I am as an artist, as a person, as this. And I was taking like French 2. I had taken French 1, barely got, but whatever. So originally it was you had to have 2 years of a foreign language to graduate, but in the in that like year they changed it, so I didn't have to have French 2. So I was there and I was like, this is so hard. I hate this. So I went to like my counselor and I got like, they're like, he's like, well, all right, you don't need it. Let's just change you. What do you want to do? And I was like, just put me in the radio TV class. That's it. I was like, it's the same time, same period. It won't fuck with my schedule. All right, we got it. So he signed off on it. I think that everything is good. Then like I get one of those things like, come to your my theater director's office. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I go there and it's like her and my French teacher, and dude, I don't know what the fuck was going on. And they're like, look, we're not gonna let you drop this class. You can do this. Stay in the fucking class, do the fucking work, and you'll be fine. I was like, but I don't want to. Like, I don't have to. And they're like, no, it's cool. Just stay in and do it. Now, UIL, you have to be eligible to compete in UIL, which is football, basketball, theater, all that shit. You have to be passing. Right. You have to have a passing grade. If you fail, you're ineligible. You can't play.
Yeah, it's most schools,
So I was like, okay. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I just didn't do any work from that point out. Like, I just like literally tests, quizzes. I just put my name and just turned it right back into her. And the French teacher was so mad, like, she would get so fucking mad at me. And then my director couldn't say shit because I was already cast in the one act play. We're already doing fucking the fucking rehearsals and all that shit. And I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna do it, dude. Straight D's all the way. I did zero work, and got passed every single fucking time.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy. That's not like a cool story. It's stupid. It just shows like how things are so fucked up, like where it comes to competition.
Well, in the school system as well.
Yeah.
I mean, geez. I mean, let's give the kids something they want to do.
I also refused to do this math class my senior year just because I was like, this is way too hard and I'm not into math. Yeah. So I'm just gonna sit in the back and read. Yeah. And my teacher got so mad at me. She was like, "You're such a distraction." And I was like, "How?" She's like, "You're just sitting in the back reading." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Your permanent seat is out in the hallway." So she put me out in the hallway.
Even better.
And then she would close the door, and that was lunch. That was also lunch period. So as soon as she shut the door, I just went to all 4 lunches every single day. Oh, I got Fs in that one. Just Fs all the way across. But I still was eligible. They still figured it out. She was so mad at me. That teacher hated me. But I hated math. Yeah. So there you go.
Now, music-wise this time when you were in high school, what were we listening to?
Man, like a lot of Nirvana. I mean, this is when that happens. But I'm also like, I was also very at that point in my life more like like I was into hip hop, you know.
Sure,
like I was listening to Tupac like a ton. Eazy-E, of course, like the Ghetto Boy. I live in Houston, so like the Ghetto Boys. I was listening to a lot of that. But the rock I was listening to was like. Honestly, Green Day, like that was what I was listening to at that point. Like Dookie came out, during that point, and I had that, and it was almost like that felt like a guilty pleasure because I was like, oh man, am I being like I'm not being true to my gangster roots, you know, like that kind of thing. But
you were hardcore hip hop.
I was trying to figure it out, you know. You're trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, totally.
But then like it did bust. You know, everything busts open, and you think, you know, by my senior year, I'm listening to Korn and everything else, and fucking like trying.
Did you go with like ZZ Top being in?
Love ZZ Top, dude.
I mean Texas.
One of my uncles who's passed away, rest in power, Uncle Bob. I got a bunch of his vinyl, and he had every ZZ Top vinyl. Like, so I had a couple of them, but he had every one from first to last. Like, so I do love me some ZZ Top.
Let's see, around that time,
Billy Gibbons is doing fucking tour at the Punk Rock Museum next week, dude.
I saw that.
Oh my god, dude,
that's impressive.
So cool.
Well, so around that time, you maybe got into, let's see, if you were doing Korn, did Ministry show up? I mean, Al Jorgensen is such a fucking badass for Texas.
Yes. Yeah, but I wasn't, I don't think I was super into that scene at that time. I was more just like, I'm a new metal kid.
New metal, okay.
I'm a new metal guy, you know. Even though I liked other metal, but I was like, also like, I don't know, back then I get very passionate about art and music, you know?
Yeah.
And then I tried to take this stance where I was like, at some point, I was like, you know what? Arguing about art is a young man's game. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm just going to sit here and say like, hey, it's not for everybody. You don't like it? You don't have to like it. Yeah. But sometimes people are so stupid that I just can't help myself to be like, you don't realize. Like, so that's very hard for me. Where was I going with this?
Let's see, the music we were listening to at that time, and then who people aren't interested in, who you can be like crush.
I don't fucking remember. Anyway, dude, that's how it goes. I smoked a bowl in your bathroom.
Yeah,
earlier.
I know. We're drinking beers now. It's okay. We haven't done any stimulants yet, so it's hard to stay focused sometimes. But at that time,
send all your stimulants into Avantpopbooks.org.
Yeah, we'll
Lemon Party.
No, not the org, because that's a nonprofit, and we don't want to get.
Yeah, we are a for-profit business, just so you know. We definitely need.
So when did you start doing music?
Maybe that was what you're talking about.
I
So
remember.
I didn't get to start doing music till I was 16. I got my first guitar, and my dad like went to the pawn shop and bought me like I was like, I want a guitar. So my I don't know what the fuck. He went and he bought like a classical acoustic guitar with like the nylon strings, like I'm like
guitar, you're gonna have to learn the hard way.
Like I'm fucking Desperado or some shit. And I was like,
it's a good way to start.
I was like,
You just want to go.
Well, then I got a guitar teacher, and I took that to him, and like I was like, I want to learn this and this, and he was like, why do you have a classical guitar? You need to get like an electric guitar, at the very least, just a regular guitar. So we took that back, and I got like the $100 Squire special, and I did start taking less. I don't know. I feel like the way I learned music it's so ass backwards and weird. My guitar teacher, he's a cool ass dude, but he's just like, he was one of those like 80s guy. Like he's still alive, but like he's got like a ponytail like down to his ass. You know, he's wearing like a Johnny Bahama. Exactly. Yeah, he's got that. Head. But he's got glasses that are like tinted, that are huge.
Super cool.
Huge tinted glasses, right? Always wears like a button up, like John Bahama, like whatever those Bahamas, Tommy Bahama shirt, like in shorts.
Professional, but still old school hardcore.
But dude, like, amazing guitar player. Awful teacher. Just awful. Like he was like, he'd be like, I'm like, I don't know my ass from a fucking hole in the ground when it comes to guitar. And he's like, all right, we're gonna start with Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. This is what we call Bon Jovi C. And I'm like, what's a regular C? Like, so it was like that. But I did take lessons from him for about a year, and then I quit and just started teaching myself. Once I got a little bit of a grasp on things.
Smart.
And then later on down the line, I took like a private, like hardcore private lessons for like a year in there to like bridge the gap between my like music ability and music knowledge, because I was like, what the fuck? Like I'm like, there's something missing, and then I did that, and that that really helped. I mean, it's something you got to do. You got to do that.
You do voice lessons? Because your voice is pretty polished.
I have not taken voice lessons.
Wow.
I just practice a lot.
Yeah. It's
I have a tape for you too.
Oh, nice. Well, sweet. I
didn't get it out with the books. I forgot.
That's fine. We'll get it later.
But no. Go ahead.
After so you had I'm just curious to your music like progression of who you were listening to.
Dude, I've been in so many bands. Yeah. Like you. Okay, you're asking about like John Wayne Is Dead.
Yeah.
John Wayne Is Dead is like my most recent thing, but I've played in like.
And now is this in Texas or so now you're in Vegas. What was the progression of when you were in Texas? What were you doing there, and then how'd you end up here?
So when I was in Texas, when I was 16 and I first started playing, it was just me and my buddy Pat in my garage, and we had a band called Penis Wrinkle Jones, which I still think is an awesome fucking name. Penis Wrinkle Jones, dude, come on. But he played drums and sang, and I played guitar, and we recorded the songs on the boombox in my garage, and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, play and record at the same time.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah. And then I started. I was working at this like video game store at the time. Again, this is like fucking 25 years ago, dude.
Yeah. What's that for math people that don't know? 25 years ago.
This is like 1995, 96, 97.
Yeah.
And then I'm working at this video game store, and then I meet one of my very best friends to this day, Nick P. Everyone who, if you follow me, and like he was one of the guys that traveled with me, everyone knows Nick P. Shouts out. But he's an amazing artist as well. But he hired his buddy Robbie C. Robert, and Robert is like an amazing he was just an amazing guitar player, amazing musician, and he actually like turned me on to so much prog stuff. We went and saw Al Di Meola play. We went and saw, what's his name? Because we were really into King Crimson. Robert Fripp did a solo show in Houston, and he was doing those Frippatronics. We went and saw that. We went and saw Stanley Jordan. So these are all like guitar virtuoso like things, and I would never have been turned on to those if it wasn't for Robert. Nice. And anybody that's like an artist out there that's listening, like metal sharpens metal. And me working with Robbie C, like Robert was such a good guitar player and such a good musician, that made me better to play with him, right? Like I was like, I have to be better. Yeah. So we were in this band called Taint, that was like a proggy metal band. We had a female singer. It was awesome, and then that all falls apart like it does. I was in a band called Harem Festival. That was, this is all in Texas. That was also like a proggy band that I was trying to like make it more like accessible, but I couldn't really do it because I was like, I don't know, there's no choruses in any of these songs. What the fuck am I doing? And then I started doing this band called Letters to Voltron, which I then brought Robbie. Robbie came back into that, and Letters to Voltron, it's on Spotify. You can listen to a couple of our records on there, but it's super proggy, like extremely, like time signatures are crazy, like all the shit, but the lyrics are just dumb. Like we're talking about like shave your beaver, I fucked your mom, I want to fuck you on the dance floor. There's like all this intricate music is going on, but the lyrics are stupid as fuck. But that made me, being in Letters to Voltron and playing with Robert, and then the drummer that we had, Marty C, the Sauce we called him, he went to Rutgers for music, and he could play anything. He was an amazing thing. So that like really helped elevate myself as a musician, I feel, and that music was awesome, and doing it and touring with it, but again, it was like like you can't sing along to this, like what am I doing at this point? I'm like, I'm not even having fun. Like, is anybody listening to this having fun? Like, I don't know. So I started to write these like kind of just simple punk songs, like the kind of stuff that I liked, like Alkaline Trio, Blink 182, if you will, like just that pop punk. And then I'm super I love country music, like the old outlaw country music, living in Texas. And I just started writing songs like that, and I just I asked my buddy Chris, who also played in a punk rock band that we played with all the time. He worked at the Starbucks with me, and I was like, I wrote these songs. It's completely different from anything that I've been doing. Do you want to maybe listen to them, and maybe you could play drums? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And then we started from there doing John Wayne is Dead. And like, I think John Wayne is Dead is the most like accurate representation of me as a musician now. Like, this is like all this shit, like here it is.
I can see it. It's kind of a cross between got a little Green Day vibe and also a little Hank 3 vibe.
Love Hank 3.
It comes across for sure. Did you guys ever get any like Butthole Surfers while growing up in Texas? Was that before, or was that before?
No. We had what was that one album they had, like coming like an avalanche,
Pepper,
Pepper. We don't mind the sun sometime. So I was in early high school when that came out. So that was my introduction to the Butthole Surfers. But I since there like was able to extrapolate and be like, oh shit, dude, like this is the Butthole Surfers, and they are Gibby Haynes. Like, they are in Texas. They are setting their symbols on fire and doing crazy shit.
I mean, their whole story is fucking hilarious and great. And I Loca's abortion technician. It's when I first started smoking weed and taking psychedelics. And you put that album on, it's frightening and horrific, and still you can't like stop loving it. It's got that southwestern vibe. Want to take a break?
If you want to.
I thought we'd do a little restroom.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Where were we? Cheers again.
And a mighty cheers to you, my friend.
Boom. Sorry, I got gnats in here now because we had that whole party for our book launch for the A-Holes, and
that was so fucking cool, dude. By the way, don't downplay that. The assholes you'll meet. You, Krusty Vato.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of
Krusty
fun.
Vato.
Shouts out, dude.
Amazing. I'm so stoked.
We connected on social media. He's a cool ass dude.
Oh, he's a sweet, amazing man.
Got to take a picture with you guys.
Yes, we were stoked.
That was awesome. And it if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're familiar with Avantpop and stuff. But like I see you guys you do so many awesome events. In store, at bars and stuff. Like, God, there's like sometimes I'm like, I wake up in the morning and look at my Instagram and I was like, God, I wish I would have known about that. I'd have gone, So there's definitely cool shit. So that makes me be more proactive. But you guys do a lot of fucking good shit, and I don't think it should be like downplayed.
Well, I appreciate that. And our whole thing was when we started publishing. Not only did we want to do stuff that we did, as journalists, we were always meeting cool writers and artists, and we're fans of people like that. Anyways, we cruise all the art pop-ups and shit like that.
You're a cruiser.
Yeah. And a swinger. Mm-hmm. So we would do these things and find amazing people, and we're like, well, let's figure out a way to be able to help either publish them or promote them. And Vegas is so packed with amazing talent that that was our thing. It's like let's publish as many fucking artists and writers as we can. And now there's writers and artists, unlike yourself, are slow, and I am a slow writer, and so there's a lot of folks that we love and we want to promote more. Or at least publish more, but just they're a little slow. So we try and work with as many up and comers as we can. And Krusty Vato, man, he publishes, he works his own shit. He produces, I should say, and he does so much amazing stuff on his own. We're like, fuck, man, let's get him under our wing if we can.
Yeah,
and so we're stoked. We're
I loved his illustrations in that.
Oh yeah, totally.
And
it's just the beginning. And it's just the beginning with Krusty Vato. Steven's amazing. But like yourself, so. You've been doing art. What was the first artsy stuff? Was it your book covers, or did you do album covers before that? Like, what were you doing art wise?
Man, honestly, I'll tell you this. So, I wasn't doing anything visual art wise for a long ass time because I was like, I'm a rock star. I'm gonna write books. I'm gonna fan there. Yeah. But when I got to John Wayne is Dead, and Chris and I are in the band, and I have this vision of what I want things to look like because I'm stripping everything back. Like I said, I was in this prog band that I was like, is anybody having fun? Like, what's happening? I know I can sing over me playing 6-8 riffs or whatever, but I'm not even enjoing that. So with that, I had a very strong vision of what I wanted John Wayne is Dead, the band, to sound like, and also what the visual was. And a buddy of mine who is still a good friend of mine, his name's Todd Gale, shouts out. He was an artist. He did actually the cover for the last Letters of Voltron album that came out, which was what was it called? Something, Our Future, Dripping Future. I don't know, but we did a whole contest where we just picked 5 words out of a hat, and that was the name of the album. So he did that. He's an awesome artist. He did a lot of kind of comic book type stuff, and I started to bring stuff to him that I was sketching, and I was like, hey, can you do this for the John Wayne is Dead thing? And he was like, I don't know, man. Seems like you know what why don't you just do it yourself? Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I was like, oh, I guess. And that just kind of reignited that in my brain. I was like, well, I guess I do kind of know how to do this.
Yeah.
So I just from there just started. I was like, okay. And you'll see if you see like the first John Wayne is Dead 7-inch record that we had, that cover is so rudimentary. It's so simple. Coffin, skulls, whatever.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of like what, but that was the beginning of that. And I do owe this to Todd, and I've told him before, like, dude, if you didn't tell me that, I would never have started doing all of this. But then I started doing all of that. But I had to kind of learn. I was like reconnecting backwards to like my visual art, the visual art training, quote unquote, if I had that like in school and stuff. But I was like, okay, I know how to do these things. I can see in my head what I want this to look like. And then I just kind of found myself being able to do that. And I was doing like really not stupid stuff, but like rudimentary things where I was like drawing, and then I was like taking pictures. I was trying to do animations where I was like drawing everything like a cell and stuff like that. And I went one day to my tattoo artist, like this is probably like 10 or so years ago, 10 years ago, we'll say. Sean Oz, amazing guy. He lives in Colorado now, like up in the fucking mountains. But he's tattooed a bunch of my tattoos. And he had come back to Texas after he moved to do like a thing, and he was working on my back. And I showed him this simple like animation like thing that I did where I was just like, I drew all the fucking cells, and I fucking took pictures of them, and I put them in Movie Maker, and I did the whole thing. And he just looked at it, and he was like, that's cool. Let me show you something. And he pulled out like his iPad and like the pencil, and like the program was called Procreate, and he was showing me like, and it was like it's a lot like Photoshop, which I was already familiar with, and I was like, oh,
tricks of the trade.
It opened up like a whole new world for me. And so, like, and we were talking earlier during the break about are these drawn digitally or whatever. Like all of the things I draw are drawn by hand first. Like I draw them all. Like
few people do that now.
But I have to, and then I take a picture of it, and you import it into the iPad, and I make the opacity, whatever, and then that's just my guide, so that I can then redraw it digitally. That is my process, I guess. But what was the question?
I don't remember.
That's cool.
Something about how fucking awesome your art is.
We just talking about starting art.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it all where the passion where the passion starts. Is always I'm always curious of like how people figure out like, I want to do this. And sometimes it's like I stumbled in, and sometimes I did this for 25 years and I wanted to make it thing, and then it's cool.
I mean, like,
it's not easy being an artist.
It's not. And I kind of like forgot how much I liked to draw.
Nice.
Until I started doing that. Like, we were talking about the Gas Money magazine.
Yeah.
Those are all like fake ads that I drew. The issue 2 that's coming out has like all these comics that are like the Afterlife Adventures of John Wayne is Dead, which was a zine that I did in Houston for like, it was 3 issues, but it's basically myself and my drummer Chris dead and in hell, and having these just one-off adventures, like a Calvin and Hobbes type of thing, like, you know, and I've readapted it for this Gas Money magazine, where we're not in hell anymore. We're skeletons. Like I have these skeleton characters that Chris and I are like for the band. Whoops. But we're just doing stupid shit. Like our equipment gets stolen, and we just want to drink beer, and then we get our equipment back, and then we get to drink beer, and we forgot where we left the beer, but we find our, you know, it's just stupid stuff like that. But it's fun. Like those things, they're like, I don't know how I cut my teeth on. I love that kind of stuff.
Well, what was the the first story that you published, and how did that get inspired and actually followed through? That's always the big thing. Is like how do you make your story that you love, and if you're a writer and you've been writing a long time, like which one do you pick, and then when you pick that one, like how do you follow through to actually publish? Which one was it, and how'd you make it happen?
Which story? Okay, so
Your first book.
So
'Cause you got like a hand.
The
like
first-
you've been publishing nonstop.
so when I started, I was trying to figure this out. I didn't know, like, that's why I talked about BizarroCon earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was where I went because I was super into the Bizarro scene at that time. It was popping off.
Yeah.
We have Carlton Mellick. We have all these fucking other guys, whatever. And I'm like, but Jeremy Robert Johnson was someone that I was like, that was my guy. That was my, okay, I know where my shit can go now.
Yeah.
Because I cut my teeth on Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, Amazing Stories. That is what my shit is about. It's like all like I want to twist and turn like all the way to the end. Those anthology shows were like everything to me.
Yeah.
So I gravitated towards that. Jeremy Robert Johnson, if you read please look him up and read him.
Mm-hmm.
His stuff is like that. So I was like, okay. And I didn't discover him until like I was reading. Dude, this is crazy. Like I didn't know who Chuck Palahniuk was until I was at the mall. And this guy was at the food court that I went to high school with, and he was like, when I was playing in that band Taint, we had a website, and I put like we had like different sections. This is like also early 2000s.
Yeah.
I put a story up there on the website, like here's a story by John Wayne, and he was like, hey man, I read your story, man. Have you ever heard of Chuck Palahniuk? And I was like, I don't know what that is. He's like, oh man, you should definitely check him out. I think you'd like him. And that also, I was like, I bought a Chuck Palahniuk book at the mall that day. I think it was Beautiful Monsters. I bought,
Beautiful Monsters.
and I was like, oh, and like, dude, you don't know, like these things like all just come to fucking together, and I was like, okay, I think I know how to do this, and I didn't know through reading Chuck Palahniuk back, Amazon is like, if you like this, maybe you'll like jerking off in a fucking face of a walrus.
Yeah.
But they were like, you might like Jeremy Robert Johnson. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Check this guy out. And he had this book called Angel Dust Apocalypse. And I got that, and I was like, okay, now I know. Now I know that like what I'm writing has a place and has like, I can figure it out. So I started going to the BizarroCon, like whatever, doing that. The Bizarro scene got really fucking weird a few years ago, like pre-pandemic. There were issues. There was some fucking weird shit. Like I'm not gonna go into it on the podcast. You can do all of the fucking research
yourself.
But I was like, I do not want to be a part of this, like at all. So like the books that I have published that are Bizarro, like through Bizarro presses, I don't have at my table anymore. And it's not that I'm have a issue with those products. I'm just like, nah, I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. Even though like I retain the rights now, like I can put them all back out under my thing. But it just left a bad taste. It really just left a bad taste in my mouth. But I cannot and I will not like disavow that. Like that was how I got into doing what I do.
That's right, yeah.
Like I wanted like they had this thing called the New Bizarro Author Series, which I have tattooed on my fucking hand, my fingers, like the second knuckle or whatever the fuck they call that, NBAS. They just like picked like 4 to 5 book like manuscripts a year to be like a new Bizarro author, and I got in, and it was like something I was working towards for a long. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And like once I did that, that was another one of those things where you're like, okay, this is working. This is working. You know. But then that scene got all fucking weird. So, you know, kids. Shit happens.
Well, and now you're publishing for yourself. Like, how do you? I mean, I don't want to give away who you publish with, because since we're a publisher. But I want to know, like, how you started. Like, was it? Did somebody find you? Like, how did it go? Are you going independent DIY? And your first one that you did, like, when was that? And where'd you move from there?
So I was getting published through a couple of Bizarro presses, Eraserhead Press,
okay,
and Rooster Republic, and then where things really started to kind of like cement and move forward was when I was published by Grindhouse Press, which is out of Dayton, Ohio, and the two authors that run that press were at that time and still are two of my favorite authors. And
shout out to
C.V. Hunt and Anderson Prunty, or
nice.
Carrie and Andy.
There you go.
So yeah, Grindhouse Press, like, you know, just like is amazing. So Carrie had just taken over the press. Andy was running it. Carrie took it over. And the first year that she took it over, she published, I think, 5 books. Mine was one of them, Death Packs and Left Hand Paths. Nice. And I was like, fuck. Like that right there, that changed like a lot of shit for me. Like I was like, okay, fuck yeah. I got to know them. I'd gotten to know Carrie a little bit at one of the Bizarro cons, just chatting. But then, like, they became my friends. Like, I would stay with them when I was going through. They published 5 of my books. But,
huge.
like, also, but, like, just, to say, like, they're my friends. They've published my stuff. But, dude, Carrie has rejected, like, as much, if not more, than what she's accepted from me. So it's not like an automatic thing. It never is.
And
like,
it shows how badass you are as a writer, because you're publishing, you're producing so many stories and books that says a lot about how you work, and that's huge.
Well, you have to. It depends on what you want. What do you want to do with this? Yeah. Right. I want to not have a job again and keep selling my stories and keep going from city to city. Yeah. To do that, here's what I have to do. Yeah. And what I have to do is keep putting shit out.
You hear that, folks?
And and I know it's different for everybody, but I write my goal. If you're going to be a writer, I feel, and say whatever you want, but I think that you should write every day.
That's what Hemingway say. If you're gonna be a writer, you're not a writer unless you write every day.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be
published. I wouldn't call. Yeah, it's like if you're not doing that, then don't call yourself a writer. Yeah. But also like writing, it's an incremental thing. You're gonna get better no matter what. If you're writing every day, whether you do like 10 pages or 2 sentences from day to day, you're still building. And I go back to like music a lot, because just like it's easy to relate this back to music. It's like learning an instrument. You can't just, if you want to be I want to be guitar man, I want to, or I want to be sax, or I want to play the fucking flute. It doesn't fucking matter. You can't just pick it up on Friday for 2 hours and blow the flute and call yourself a fucking flautist. You have to practice every day. It's incremental, and you get better and better and better, and you learn your instrument and you hone your craft.
And which doesn't mean you're going to get published everything you write.
No, it doesn't mean that.
You fill journals of everything you're writing, and you continue to practice the writing, and you just fill journals to put it on the shelf.
You're
growing.
On the
shelf, you're growing.
You're growing.
Polish your craft.
Growing.
Polish your craft.
you're sharpening, like you're beating that sword like
Yeah.
on the fucking anvil, you know, to sharpen it.
Because are you ever completely happy with the stuff that you do until you finally click it out? Because that's always the part where, like, do you ever like stop and say like, okay, this I can do this, I can publish this? Because that's the hardest part sometimes, is like filling the finish line.
Okay, so I am totally fine with reaching a point and being like, this is done.
Yeah.
Because like this is another thing that relates back to doing music. There's the point of diminishing returns, right? Like you can only go back to that so much before it starts to be shitty.
Yeah.
And that
Watered
comes
down.
from like, well, that comes from where like from the music thing, from recording, right? So I've been in like recording situations where another person in the band is like, maybe the singer or whatever is like, I can do it better. And they've done 35 takes of like one line in the chorus because they're trying to get it a certain way, and it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And worse and worse. And they probably hit it in the first 3 takes they did, but they can't see that, and like you just hit those points. So I do not have that problem. I really get to a point where I'm like, here's the fucking thing, man. Like you got to pull the trigger sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Feel good about what you've done, and also, you know,
you have to have confidence. Move
let
forward.
Let it go.
Yeah. Put it out there, dude.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
Yeah,
Here it is.
You can do a different album or another book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always love hearing about writers that like Stephen King's one of my favorites to read about, because he'll talk about all the where he was at with each book, and I find that fascinating. You know, Erica Zhong's another one. I'm a big fan of her writing, and you know, she does erotica or just female writing stuff, and I just you know, it's you know, putting out there what you've completed, done, and feel good about, and you can look back and be like, well, I could have done it better, but at the same time, you hit the mark.
I mean, that's also like, it's so subjective. Like, I mean, you know, when it. I mean that, and also it killed. Like I could, if we were doing a 4-hour podcast, I could sit there and tell you like instances where we're like, I was like, and if they would just pulled the trigger right here, we would have been fine. But some people like having it, like, I think it's like a double thing where it's like an insecurity versus like, it's never gonna be good enough.
Well, yeah,
you know?
And I think that stems from people who think they're not good enough. Too, I get to a point too, and I'm just like, that's me. I'm done.
Yeah,
I got it.
Everybody listening, we all think we're not good enough.
Yeah,
however, we need to let that go and know we're good enough and have that confidence, because this is what we do, and not everybody does this, because if it was easy, everybody would.
Yeah.
But this is what we do, so that's how I kind of like look at it. That's like my battle cry. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And no matter what I'm going up against, I'm like, well, fucking do it then, asshole. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
And if you like what you've done, there'll be somebody out there who likes what you've done as well, and it'll inspire them.
Yeah.
So what's your let's go through the books you've written, and let's talk about some new stuff.
Okay. Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to talk about? Which one?
Your first book.
My first book. It's not even here.
I know. I think we sold it, or you didn't.
No, it's not. I don't. Okay. It's not. It's out of print.
Great.
My first book
sold out of in one of your books.
It's
already,
out of.
so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So your first one was.
Okay, so how my first book that was in print was actually, man, this is like so fucking, like, I talked about this on my podcast too. This is another thing where it's like, you can't give up. Like, that's the major thing.
Yeah.
Rejection happens. It's a callus to build up. This is the arts. Get, fucking just sack up. It's gonna suck, but you have to keep going. So there was like a call for this anthology that was supposed to be like horror erotica, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to submit this story. So I wrote this story for it, and it got accepted. And I think like before that, I'd maybe had like a couple of other stories accepted, like digitally and maybe in another anthology. But I was like, all right, fuck yeah. And it was like, all right, here, so it's this. And then a few weeks later, they're like, this press is going out of business, so we're not going to put that anthology out. And they're like, I was like, oh. And then I got another email a couple weeks later. It was like, hey, the press is like owned now. We bought the press, and we want to like do something with these stories, and we'll let you know. And we're like, the fuck does that mean? I'm okay, like whatever. And then one day they were like, weeks later, it's like, hey, we're not gonna put this anthology out. What we're gonna do is put out novellas of each of the stories that we think are the best ones, and we want to put yours out.
All right.
And so the offshoot of the press, they called it New Kink Books, and mine was called the Porn Star Retirement Plan, or the Porn Star Retirement Program. Yeah, the Porn Star Retirement Plan, and it was just a stupid story, like about this guy that his favorite porno star is coming to town to film a bukkake, and he applied and got accepted to go do it, and it's not what he expected, and everything goes extremely wrong. But that was the first that was the first book that like I had come out, and it almost didn't. Like they were like, yeah, we're not gonna use it. We are gonna use it. No, we're not gonna use it. So I don't even know what we're talking about.
And so from there,
I don't know. So from there, like
you kept writing. You're like busted out.
I was always writing.
You're prolific.
I did Charge Land, which was also with like a bizarro title, The Rooster Republic. A lot. My buddy Nick P loves that one. My new Bizarro author series book that came out was called Ant Poster. That came out through there, and then once I started publishing through Grindhouse, I kind of found my niche. I found my I found my like my lane a little bit, like just in a sense of like I said, Grindhouse and Carrie, they're not publishing everything I write.
Yeah.
But having them like pick up Death Packs and Left Hand Paths, and then right after that, she put out a book I have called Scummer, which is actually dystopian. It's completely different from all the other shit that I do. But she did this big ass fucking painting for the cover. It was awesome. That, just having that happen and being published through them, I was like, okay, now I know. Now I've got it. And of course, that still changes a little bit here and there, but that was the touchstone, or that like whatever you want to call it. I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that. I did all the fucking bizarro shit. I got public. I did it. But that was like, once she published me, once that happened, I was like, okay, like I have my footing. This is where I need to go.
Yeah. So right now, you got a handful that we carry, but your new stuff. Let's talk about your new stuff. What do you got coming out?
Oh, my new book. So this is exciting because June 8th, I will be here.
Yes.
At Avantpop.
Doing a signing.
Signing, reading.
Yeah.
Performance.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
For my newest book, which I brought a copy here for Shwa and Sugar.
Yeah.
It's called Toured to Death, and it is it's about things that happen to people who tour a lot. Like all of the, I guess, easy things to grab. The 30,000 feet things, like a bad sound man, drugs, girls, green room situations, other artists, and then it's 8 chapters, which each chapter is a tour date that this singer-songwriter is on solo by himself, and what happens. But I've taken things like that, like a crazy, like just dealing with sound men sometimes is it's sometimes it's awesome, and sometimes it's such a fucking weird experience that I don't know, like we'd have to do a whole nother podcast about it. So I've taken things like that, but then I just twisted it in the John Wayne like horror sci-fi thing, and put that on there. So that's called Toured to Death. I don't know, when does this come out? Because this podcast, because the book comes out on the 6th, so it's probably out already. So go to my website and buy it,
which is
johnwayneisdead.com.
There you go.
But that's my lasted. But like also like Electric City's Neon Infection, which I brought.
You can buy it off on Avantpop Bookstore.
You can. Thunderstorm Books put out that, and that's about Las Vegas. That's about me living in Las Vegas. The drugs, the homeless people, some of the history, and I just put the John Wayne fucking sci-fi, asshole lick in there, and it became that. But man, living in downtown Las Vegas is fucking nuts, dude.
That's where our bookstore is. It gets
nuts.
It gets a little wild down here.
You are fucking
thick of it
fucking
over
what do you
here.
call this?
We call it the red light district. We call it
this
New Orleans,
area.
New Orleans Square. It's the old commercial center. It was the first outdoor mall in Las Vegas where the Rat Pack came and did laundry and got their deli, and we also had Led Zeppelin playing next door. And now, when they first opened
we got Led Zeppelin coming up with
when they started doing the station casinos, which were the first casinos for locals, they built indoor malls for all those, and this place died over here, the first outdoor mall. And so what did they do with that first outdoor mall? They made it the red light district, because the Green Door, the Swingers Club,
it's right here, dude. That's the one that you see. Hawks Gym, Badlands. Let me give a shout out to Badlands, the bar. That is an awesome fucking
and the
bar.
Green Door. Well, if you haven't been there, you'll know about it from somebody.
Exactly,
sure
that's where we are.
That's where we are.
But
today
Norm took us to Badlands when we were at one of the readings here. We were going back and forth.
We
bar
just
is
missed you because we were over there afterwards.
Shouts out.
But
to
we
Badlands.
also have like the crazies that we have to like scoot away, if you will, from our door in the morning, because there are crazy drugged out.
We call them the goblins.
That's a good.
That's what's in the book. They're called the goblins.
This area, we'll see if it lasts. They want to tear it all down here soon. We may not have a bookstore. In the next 2 months.
2 months?
We'll find out if
are
they're
you
going to
serious?
kick us out. We're gonna find out if they're gonna kick us out.
What happens if they kick you out?
We look for a new place, but there's a good possibility we just go back indoors and we go into hiding. We take the podcast indoors. We don't have a bookstore. We go back
underground.
Kind of. But we won't have a brick and mortar.
That would be such a shame.
It would totally suck, because we love the culture. We love the culture. We love hanging out with
You're
tourists.
promoting the culture.
We love hanging out with artists.
Happen.
I know it's so. We'll see. But
let's all pray to whoever gods that we want to. For Avantpop to.
So now, but let's talk about Gas Money, because that's your magazine, and you're doing what, second one now?
Yeah, Gas Money magazine came about from my buddy Nick P. and myself, who is my best friend that we traveled. He traveled with me for a few years before I moved to Vegas. And he also worked at the video game store I worked at. I've known Nick for 30 fucking, God, Jesus, so many years. But we would always come up with like just riffing on bits and talked about like, this should be an advertisement, or this should be a story, or this should be something. So I, took diligent notes, and I also just started drawing all the stuff that he and I were coming up with. And so we put this magazine out as something that would be extra at the table, because we're driving everywhere.
Right.
It's gas money. It's only $10, whatever. But
great.
it took so long to get together, where I was like, because it's something like Nick is also one of those people who fucking I don't give a shit if you're listening, dude. Like, he does not, like, he will be like, well, he's very, I've talked about this before, he's awesome to work with in a sense that he's challenging to you as a writer. He'll be like, this could be better if you did this or this, but he will not pull the fucking trigger. And that is like, he's just like, and then it just dies, dude. So I finally pulled the trigger and put all this stuff out. I drew it's just like a Mad magazine. There's fake ads, fake products, but there's this novelette that goes throughout. And then issue 2, which I'm just finishing up now, continues those stories that follow the adventures of Meat and Grease, which is Nick and I, based upon Nick and I. Going across the country, figuring out these crazy things. But it's funny. It's just whatever, and it lets me do my stupid drawing stuff, and those things remind me.
John, for us writers and artists out there, and my only question is, how the fuck, as a partier, drug user, drinker, and a stud who makes love around everywhere, how do you make fucking time to do all this, dude? I mean, you are prolific. I'm impressed, because as somebody who's trying to hold that flag up, like, I don't understand how you can get all this shit done. And I'm impressed, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted you on the podcast, because you fucking kill it, and you're a badass. You're still intelligent when you write. You're not too fucked up to do these things, and you're going nonstop. Like, how? Like, I don't know the drug that's out there that makes you capable of doing all this shit, and I've done them all. So how do you fucking pull this shit off, dude?
First of all, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. But it really goes back to what we were talking about earlier about being disciplined. And if this is your craft, I mean, man, it sounds, I mean, I don't want to sound like,
I like that.
But it's like,
work the craft.
If this is your craft, then this is what you do. So you can't say you're like, I'm writing books if you're sitting around playing Nintendo all day. I don't know, which is fine. If that's what you fucking want to do, I'm not coming for you. But this is just what works for me. I can't tell. This is not like take a page from John Wayne's book, because this doesn't work for everybody. I can't tell you that. But for me, once I decided, like, this is what I want to do, I just went full in and did it. And like I said earlier in the podcast, I have been divorced twice. I've been, blown my life up. I was on the road 6.5 months last year. It is not easy. But if you know what you want to do and you stick with it, that's how shit happens.
John Wayne Comunale, everybody. John Wayne's dead. When are you playing next at Red Dwarf?
June 28th, my friend.
All right, everybody. You can find his books at avantpopbookstore.com, Avantpop Bookstore in Las Vegas. Fucking A, brother, man.
Follow me at John Wayne is Dead on everything.
That was fucking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you for being
here. We really
here.
appreciate it. This was awesome. Fucking one of my favorites here right now. I want to thank John Wayne Comunale for coming out and joining us on Avantpop Bookstore Presents. You can listen to John Wayne Lied to You wherever you stream podcasts. You can listen to John Wayne is Dead on Spotify. And you can purchase John Wayne Comunale's books at Avantpop Bookstore in sinfully sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. The theme music for Avantpop Bookstore Presents is performed by artist Dillashu. And I hope you can join us again for another edition of Avantpop Bookstore Presents.